what's the best scientific way to improve longevity and overall health? So, of course, this is assuming that you're doing everything else, having adequate sleep, you're hydrating, you're having a generally balanced diet within what you can afford, within your capabilities and capacities. You ruling out the poisons, the highly refined sugars and carbs, and having more or less, healthy food within what you can, afford, and what is within your reach, right? And so, there is a way to scientifically prove it, and there's a solution from the yoga sciences that can fuel the scientific fact. So I'll be discussing that in this video. If you like the contents of my video, please do me a great favor, like and subscribe. It will help my channel greatly to be able to reach out to more people. Um, I am Osman. I am a bioenergy healer on a master level with telepathic healing capabilities. I'm specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses, amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and even spiritual ailments, especially treating the adverse effects of involuntary Kundalini awakening. I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher, having been practicing this art for almost 50 years and teaching for 44 years. And in this period, I've studied under various masters across different parts of the planet, across different countries. And I gleaned down that which I felt is more powerful and created my own simplified protocols adapted for the 21st century, making it easier, quicker, effective, and more results driven to get better results in a shorter space of time. To that end, I've created a number of amazing protocols, and I have students now in over 100 countries. And I've also have a free 5-minute yoga and meditation program that you could download from my website, yogawellness786.com, right? And where you can also get more information on my services. Also understand my therapies are all natural based and not replacement for medical treatment. So coming back to overall health and longevity, so there is a scientific discovery when they do the calculation of the VO2 max, the amount of oxygen in your blood. They found that different people have varying concentrations of oxygen in their blood. Those that have higher levels of oxygen in the blood, so the VO2 max, is higher. They got better endurance and better strength, and they can work out better, and the muscles are performing better, and overall they're feeling more energized and so forth. Tend to also have a better tendency towards a healthier, longer life. So they found that the top 2% of the VO2 max scale significantly can back very assuredly, it's going to be a winning bet that they're going to live a healthier, longer life than those in the bottom 25%. So, is there a way from the yoga sciences perspective that you can directly improve your VO2 max, and it's designed for it? Yes. This is where breath work comes in. So you choose the breath work that I feel is designed for this is Annam Vinulum, right? The alternative nostril breathing with retention. So it needs to be studied under a master, and a master, and I given the formula to most people as well in my previous videos, that you can see. But the key is not following what I'm teaching you in my videos. You need to connect, and I need to balance your energies, remove the blockages in your pathways that are hindering your progress. Because you can be practicing from now to kingdom come and not making progress in your breath work because there are some heavy blockages in your energy centers. So you need to have these, unblocked by someone who knows how to unblock, the chakras. When I do chakra unblocking, I don't just unblock your 7 major chakras, I unblock all 114 chakras, and you will perceive it, you will feel it, that it's cleared, because you'll feel the energy permeating the full ambit of your entire from head to toe. and denoting that everything is cleared. And you see it like first starting to just clear your hand or your fingers, just your, that, and you see how it's progressing as well. And the seven major ones, you see the light or the colors of the various chakras in your, because I'll activate your, the initial levels of your third eye to be able to observe these, so that you can for yourself observe the, the unclearing. So once that is done and you combine that with a proper scientific breathwork formula with, a progressive resistance or progressive advancement in it, and take you to the advanced level and learn the advanced kriya in it, and anyone can learn it. I've taught, people who never practiced yoga, from around the world. I've got students in over 100 countries, and it is not uncommon for my students to have out of body experiences within the first 2 weeks, right? Not that, I mean, results vary with students, but it's not uncommon, and the secret is to professionally unblock the chakras. And I developed my own unique chakra unblocking protocol that is not learned in any books or anywhere, right? Created on my own from what I gleaned out from, my almost 50 years of practicing this art form. So this is the way with the breath work. So even if you don't do the even just doing the breath work, you're gonna improve your VO2 max, and this is going to significantly and holistically give you the massive edge in improving your overall, wellness and your longevity very significantly, provided you're following all the other basic rules as well, right? Sufficient sleep, sufficient hydration, having, your supplements, and a sensible, diet that is science based, right? So you can't, I mean, I understand going to, a very professional diet is very expensive, and supplements can be very expensive, more than what you can afford, right? So I've always been through as an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for 29 years. Entrepreneur doesn't mean you're rich. It means, yes, you may have a lot of money sometimes, much more than other people, right? Amazing levels. And also you're going to be poorer than the poorest people for for many periods of your life. You're going to go through ups and downs. All entrepreneurs go through that. You're going to be, homeless, no income, and no, having difficulty even to get, something to eat, right? And so there were some stages I said, no, I can, get, certain porridge formulas, or certain milli meal, or certain, mixtures that are very cheap, or, just common, bread, a loaf of bread. Usually they are fortified by vitamins and minerals. So at least, of course, it's not a supplement, right? But it's fortified with vitamins and minerals. So I'm getting like more overall multivitamins, right? So I'm getting, a bit of protein, and my vitamin A, vitamin B, my magnesium, my zinc, and so forth. With standard, the regular bread, that we eat, that is this available in almost every country, right? So from that alone, and drinking water, sensibly, instead of going for like sweets and, highly sugary stuffs, and trying to avoid that, because you got choices and what you got limited budget. Instead of buying a Twinkie, right, or buying a muffin, right, because muffin is also very filling. You can have one muffin and it can fill you, it can serve as a meal. Or you can buy bread and have bread, and instead of having a coffee or a soft drink, have water, right? And if you can't afford the bottled water, at least have tap water, right? So as as low as that, even those who got no money, who are, begging for a living, one of the cheapest things to buy is bread, right? Which a person, even on a begging lifestyle, on a daily basis, he can very easily afford a loaf of bread, right? If he's only spending his life, begging. So following a from as basic as that, right, upwards. So your situation, of course, I'm sure you're not. If you're watching this video, you're not on that level. You got food to eat every day. Make wise choices on your food and so forth, right? So it's not really, a big excuse. And you improve your VO2 max, and you're going to significantly, from a science point of view, you bring yourself to the higher level of that spectrum, And to be in the top 2%, I promise you, you do, the chakra unblocking and unblock, and you can do it yourself. You don't need a professional person. You can unblock your chakras yourself by doing the yoga postures. Yoga postures is designed to self unblock the chakra, but it's going to take 2 to 3 years to do it, right? On average, right? So, of course, results may vary, but progressively, you don't have to wait for the 3 years to finish before. As you progressing, it starts to unblock, right? And then your breath work starts to become more and more efficient, right? And including a wholesome diet. From try to choose the majority of foods from whole foods, plant based, right? Not processed, not in a package or a carton, or frozen or in a can, without preservatives, right? Like your cabbage, your cauliflower, the cruciferous vegetables are amazing, very nutrient dense. So if you want something better than a multivitamin, go to a nutrient dense thing like spinach. Spinach is usually very cheap in most countries, and you can have raw spinach, right? It's cheaper than a loaf of bread, a bunch of spinach, right? Usually. And the cruciferous vegetables, there are 3,000 cruciferous vegetables. In the cruciferous vegetable family, there are 3,000 choices. So anywhere in the world, almost anywhere in the world, you're going to be able to get some choice of cruciferous vegetables, right? Except unless you're in Iceland or in Greenland, where there's no, or in the desert where there's no vegetation. But now, I mean, you got some, excuse me, you get available, cruciferous vegetables in supermarkets. And the common ones are cabbage, kale, cauliflower, broccoli, right? And your leafy greens, spinach, chard, you know, and so forth, right? So these, together with your omega-3s and plant-based amazing source of omega-3s is chia seeds. And you want something equivalent to chia seeds at half the cost, and you want to become more cost efficient, is flaxseed. Flaxseed is half the cost, right? So of course, don't buy them crushed. Consume them. There's a way how to consume them, and the best way I would say, go to Dr. Brooke Goldner's website, goodbyelupus.com, or go to her husband's website, smoothieshred.com, and you can, cut down your grocery bill and maximize greatly your nutrition potential. Even if you can't go 100% on it, but at least you're consuming some of it on a regular basis is going to help you tremendously in your longevity protocols and towards maximizing your VO2 max. Because in the VO2 max, having raw cruciferous vegetables or raw wholesome whole plant-based foods like nuts and fruit and vegetables is going to give you a higher level of this amazing miracle called nitric oxide, right? Nitric oxide is the secret that can reverse heart disease. So there is a nitric oxide supplement because there's two doctors, Dr. Heber and Dr. Ignario. They formulated the nitric oxide supplement, um, which is available through two major network, nutrition companies called Forever Living Products or Herbalife International. And I'm an authorized distributor for both Herbalife and Forever Living Products, and you can get them from me. Of course, you'll get them at a discount, and it doesn't. You cannot buy them. There's no store you can buy these things from, right? You have to buy it through someone, and it will get delivered to you to your home, right? And you just register. I'll just help you to register, and you can order it yourself. You don't have to buy it physically from me, right? So you'll cut out the middleman and buy it directly, but you need, someone's code to activate your code. You need to be sponsored by someone because we are long. I'm 24 years in this field of nutritional supplements with Herbalife International and with Forever Living Products. I think about 15 years with them. So I understand these things better, going into this. So all these things combined is going to help your VO2 max. The right supplements, not going crazy. When you have too many supplements, right? Too many multivitamins and your omega-3s, and you're taking calcium supplement and your magnesium supplement, and then you're taking your nitric oxide supplement. and then you're taking a special, a vitamin E complex, and then you're taking, something else to boost your energy levels, and then you're taking your pre-workout meal, and then you're taking your post-workout shake. This is going to be harmful to you. Too much of processed foods is considered like a poison, and you're gonna be, you're gonna create harm to your body. Those who are like professional athletes who are too much on the supplements, they don't last very long. You see how they end up. They don't look very good because they, not having a balance, right? People can go into extremes. So you need to be tempered, creating a very healthy balance, in everything. And not necessary for you to go into so many meal replacement shakes and so forth. You can lose weight much faster through natural ways and cheaper, fraction of the cost, right? And minimizing a supplement to, just a few things. And you don't even, the nitric oxide supplement, which won the Nobel Prize, it is one of the most expensive supplements on the planet, right? It is so expensive, average people cannot afford to buy it. But it's available for free, from it just releases naturally from whole foods plant-based diets, right? So the nitric oxide having whole foods plant, I'm not saying become vegetarian or saying, add this to your diet, right? Add whole foods, plant-based foods to your diet, right? Add raw cruciferous vegetables to your diet, right? A coleslaw salad, right? A spinach or a broccoli, salad, that is, raw, and you can garnish it, with squeezing a lemon, right, over it. Tastes amazing, broccoli with squeezed lemon. So you also acquire taste. And when you cut out all other liquids and drink pure water, you become addicted to water. I drink so much of water. I always have, a 2.25 liter, water, always at hand. I think there's one. Yeah, here's one, right? I keep a cold drink. And my mother, she loves drinking soft drinks, but you take the empty bottle and a full water, and she always offers me, "You want some cold?" I say, "No, no, I'm fine. I'll drink water, right?" And I'm drinking that, and I also got my water bottle is a 750 ml. It's always at hand near me, right? So why the other is like when this now it's a run out, right? So because I'm always drinking, right, and hydrating, and you start enjoying it. Hydrating, this is how you're going to improve scientifically your VO2 max, your longevity, your overall health. And the last but not least, most important, make sure you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep on a daily basis. You don't do this scientifically, you're shortening your telomeres. This is the latest study in epigenetics, that you're shortening your telomeres, you're shortening your preponderance to, illnesses, you're causing glycation or aging of your tissues in your body quicker, you're aging it much faster. And, just by having sufficient sleep, 7 to 9 hours, has been found scientifically to reduce your risk of chronic ailments and stress levels significantly, right? Like around 15 to 20 up to 30%, right? Which is it's a massive chunk, right? To just remove off on a natural basis for free, right? So use a combined effort. This way you're going to, improve everything, and add your breath work and your yoga programs, and your mindfulness. You're going to improve your VO2 max, and then you can go and you just do a scientific study, or a scientific, go to your doctor, or go to a lab and get your VO2 max checked out. What's your percentage, on which end of the scale you are, and you can go and check it every 6 months how you are improving or declining. And then that's the easiest way to gauge your overall wellness, and from a common layman's perspective. If you can't afford to go through these tests and so forth, you can count how many breaths per minute you are taking. So if you got a lot of oxygen in your blood, you're not going to need so many breaths without going for expensive tests for VO2 max and so forth. So you'll notice as your health is improving, you don't need to take so many. So usually the people are breathing probably, on a normal resting level, like maybe 20 breaths a minute, or 15 breaths per minute, or 12 breaths per minute, or, down to 8 breaths per minute, right? So this, from a yoga sciences point of view, depending how many breaths per minute, the lesser breaths per minute that you are breathing on average, they can do a calculation what age, generally is your life expectancy, right? So me, I'm practicing the yoga and sciences for almost 50 years, and I breathe very softly. I don't need so much of breath. And when I calculated my, when I use that barometer, I can't remember that, the levels right now, offhand. But when I did the calculation, my life expectancy is 126, right? So of course there is environmental factors, pollution factors, and there may be accidents and nutrition factors and all that that can decrease it. But the breath is saying overall, right? Because my nutrition is right, my activities is right, and my breath overall is that. And even my heart rate is not beating at a very high rate. It beats, very low. And my blood pressure, which used to be a barometer of your health, they just always check your blood pressure, right, as well, to know, how your health is on a professional athlete's level, actually better than a professional athlete's level. So when I'm working out and so forth, like I'm able to outperform people who are much younger than me. I'm now 56 years old. People who are 19, 20 years old that are going daily to the gym and have sufficient, coming from a wealthy background, that are affording all the natural supplements and the right diets and so forth, and amazing, muscle performance, and able to lift high weights, because you get professional rugby players. In my country, the rugby player in which is South Africa, my home country, where I originally came from, at the age of 16, 17, the 16 to 18-year olds are bench pressing 120 kgs, right? In my life, I never went above 60 kg because I didn't want to, harm my muscles and so forth. But they are young guys and they find. So when we challenge each other, to a plank or something, I'm, I'm I was able to outperform them, right? So for my fitness protocol, I'm doing, body weight exercise. I love doing resistance training, but I travel a lot. As you know, I've got students in over 100 countries. So it means I'm traveling too much, right? So it's very hard for me to find a gym always that's got all the right equipment, or to carry my weights, everywhere with me, traveling. So eventually I resolved to go back to body weight exercises, and I simplified it because I like to do something that is duplicable, that other people can also follow, which you can also follow. I do just 3 exercises for fitness, right, in addition to my yoga, because yoga is not fitness. Yoga is a different, fitness is different, right? So for fitness, I'm doing only squats and crunches and push-ups. So only these 3 exercises. So one day I do crunches and push-ups, and the next day I do squats and squats and crunches, right? Because the core you can work out on a daily basis, and I work out 5 to 6 days a week, and alternate, the squats with the push-ups, and then with the squats I also add jumping jacks and lunges, because the lunges targets a different angle of the muscle, and the jumping jacks targets another angle which is not 100% targeted by squats alone. So by having a well-rounded leg workout, you just do, in addition to your squats, you do your jumping jacks and your lunges, right? You got a all-round leg workout. And then for my push-ups, to get an all-round arm and chest workout to target all angles of the chest is and arms, is doing the 5 types of push-ups, and that is the standard push-ups, the wide arm push-ups, the diamond push-ups, pike push-ups, and the shorties, right? These are the 5 types of push-ups that I do. And the crunches, I do 5 types of crunches. I do the standard crunch, and I do the alternate crunch, I do the side crunch, and I do the leg lifts, and I do the reverse crunch, right? You can go online and see, how those are done. So I normally do like 200, because I'm doing it for a long time. I do 5,000 crunches a day. I do 1,000 squats a day, and I do 500 push-ups a day. Right. So 3 times a week I'm doing 500 push-ups, and 3 times a week I'm doing 1,000, squats, and then I'm adding, my jumping jacks and my lunges as well. Doing sets of 20, 30, 40, 50. Mixing it into, that I'm not going to go into that level. So having on all round fitness as well, together with your diet. So I've given so much of information, and these are practical things that are affordable. I'm not telling you get into any expense. In fact, I'm telling you to reduce your expense, increase your sleep. I'm not telling you sacrifice your sleep. I'm telling you make sure you increase your sleep. So you have to make some sacrifice in waste activities. Cut out time where it's not productive for you, right? Long hours on YouTube or social media and so forth. Cut those things out. Sleep. Cut your nighttime. Just close. Shut eye. Make sure minimum 7 to 9 hours, right? So I mean, depends on you, right? Whether you want to be healthier and you want to live longer or be more efficient, in terms of your brain capacity, efficiency in your intellect, and efficiency in your performance, in a muscular way, and also living healthier for longer, right? So I hope that information helps you, and take care of yourself always.